Hello, Likers. Welcome back to our channel. It's me, your fave, your one and only, your baby girl, Malaika. So, like I said, we are doing the critical review of Mr. Aloy series, When Marriage Becomes a Nightmare, episode 30. It starts with the usual Emeka and Debbie, planning their stuff. Debbie, telling Emeka that like they're happy with their success, they're happy with everything that is going on with like they're just happy because to them they are succeeding and everything. But Emeka is saying that like to him whatever it is that they are doing is not enough. They need to ginger up things, they need to spice it up a little, like they need to bring something that will shake tables, because to him they have not done enough. So he's working on something, he's telling Debbie. So the next scene shows Jenny that is having tea in the sitting room. It's morning. Emeka is looking, Jonathan, sorry, not Emeka. Jonathan has been looking for Debbie everywhere, you know, and Jonathan couldn't find Debbie. So Jonathan found Debbie Jenny where Jenny was. And Jenny was wondering, like, why would you be shouting my name in the house like a headless chicken? I'm just sitting here. You have to know that it's morning. So Jonathan is looking for money for his daughter. So that was why Jonathan was looking for Debbie. So Jonathan came to Debbie and told not Debbie, Jenny, told Jenny about it, that Jenny should help him. So which means all this while Jonathan is busy making this mouth. He's making mouth. I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. But he's incapable, of doing something for his daughter. His wife just left the house. It's not been long, and Jonathan is already running like a headless chicken. And like Jenny is structuralized, like, guy, I can't help, and that's why then Benny is realizing that her father is never going to help her. Her father is never going to be like the real father that she wants. You understand? So it is like difficult. She notices, and Jenny is making her brother to know that, guy, I can't help you, because I, for one, I never asked you to throw your wife out of the house. You cannot think of throwing your cash cow out of the house when you know very well that you don't have a plan B. So what were you expecting? What were you thinking about? What do you like? How did you plan this all along? So which means you just plan to get rid of your wife. So didn't you have a plan B? And he's trying to push his daughter in front that I am doing this for your nieces because like you have to do it for your niece and all the rest. Like, what do you mean she has to do it for her niece? Then at the end of the day, she's trying to understand that, okay, let's assume that I give you the money. How are you willing to pay back? And to him, it's like his sister is exaggerating. Jenny is doing too much, that what is 100k for Jenny? Jenny works. Like, as you know, there are some people that will, there are some people that will definitely count your money inside your pocket. Yes, he is one of them. This is entitled mentality. He thinks he's entitled, like the whole world owes him something. He's entitled to everything. And this entitlement makes him to feel like he can get whatever it is that he wants. He's not even supposed to pay. To him, it's more like, what is 100k that you'll be asking me to pay back? Am I supposed to pay back? Is she not your niece? Did she tell you that she wanted to spare 100k to you? Did she? Like, she didn't tell you that she needed to spend 100k. Did she tell you that? She didn't tell you that. So eventually, which means it is at her own discretion. This is a thing about us humans. We feel so entitled, like sometimes we want people to, to give us things because we feel like the world owe us those things. It is not like that. It's not supposed to be like that. She's like, to him, he doesn't want to pay back because to him that is her niece. He's not supposed to pay back. She's not supposed to ask him anything. She's just supposed to give the money. As soon as he asks, she's just supposed to give without wanting to know anything, without asking anything. Guy, are you serious? Is she working for you? Hey, she's not working for you. Oh. Don't be entitled. you know don't be entitled. She's not working for you. She was like, she did late. She was shocked that she's even really patient. you know she's being very patient. Abba. Ah. Are you serious? He's like, to him, like, he's the fact that Clara has abandoned her daughter. That to him, his sister is not supposed to abandon her niece. Because this is her niece, this is his child, so this is her niece. She's supposed to do anything for her. Really, really, that she is a mother and she understands. Because normally, if I were in that child's shoes, it's just that it's a child, I would have gone to my aunt to ask for that money, not my father. When I know very well that my dad is a broke ass nigger, I would have gone to my aunt to ask for it from her. You understand? And you come with this entitled mentality. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you jack. Nobody owes you. The world doesn't owe you. The next thing shows Clara and Ben and Kenny. Kenny brought Clara in a house. Like Kenny was looking for a place for Clara, and Clara was very happy to see that Kenny could do this in a short notice. Like, how could she have gotten her a place this fast? So Kenny was really happy to help. But also, you will know Kenny. Kenny is this man that is always ready to advise. He gives the best advice ever. And he's not judgmental, and he stands by his friends. He will stand by the people he loved. So he was trying to make Clara understand that you alone knows why you're doing this. I will not judge you. I will just listen to you. But I am here for you. I will be here anytime, any day. You understand? And Clara recognizes that um Kenny has always been there for her. Kenny always stands by her. Kenny always helps her out. Kenny is always that person that she can call at all time. So Kenny has helped her, and he had to leave. It was really a beautiful place, and Clara had paid already. You see, money speaks and bullshit works. So the next thing shows Benny, who went to visit Hanks at his office, and Hanks was very happy to see her. Hanks was, because after everything that all these things happen, this setup and all the rings, Hanks has not been able to lay his eyes on her. It has been so difficult because of her father, stuff like that. So she had to sneak out to see him because she knows he's innocent. She knows because she went there. She never saw Hanks. Hanks never texted her. So eventually she knows it's innocent. So like, Hanks is trying to know what's up, what's happening to her, and what's going on. They talked about the message that she received. And from the way she spoke, and based on how she got the message, on her phone, they talked about the fact that she also sent a message to Hanks where she never did. She didn't send any message to Hanks. And that's when they realized that there's somebody who is trying to play something here. The like this is somebody is playing a prank, a very serious one. Because Benny is saying that she never sent any message. Benny is saying that she never sent any message. And Jonathan as well never sent any message. So who did? And based on the investigation, the message came from Benny's home. The one that was sent to Jonathan, it came from Benny's home. So if Benny did not send that message to Jonathan, who actually sent the message to him? That is the thing. I am just glad, like us, that these two people came together because they can work together to understand. And when Benny saw the message, Benny was like this. And I thank God that Benny is very vigilant, because she made Jonathan to understand that particular day, when she got the message, when she came back from bringing water from Auntie Debbie, and Jonathan was shocked, like, Debbie. She said, yeah, she was on a dining with Debbie, and she can't tell if Auntie Debbie was the one. So Jonathan was like, at this point, we cannot, exclude anyone. Everybody is a suspect because your grandmother will not be able to send that message. They say that's when, this child told Jonathan that in that case, Auntie Debbie is like 90% responsible. Yes, this should have an eye on her. It's really funny how people will really be doing things like that. Honestly, it's crazy. It's really crazy. And as for Debbie, I hope she does not go unpunished. I hope she does not go unexposed. you know so I am just glad because they say two heads are better than one. Now they can put their finger, because right now Jonathan will have to Hanks will have to investigate Debbie, because how come the message went off? Because the child, she doesn't have a password. Like, based on what she said, her mother says she has nothing to hide, so she doesn't need a password or a pin on her phone. So anybody could use her phone to send a message. And that day, who was sitting with her phone, she just left her phone for a second to fetch water for Debbie. That's when you realize that some people are so dumb when they want to carry out an act, a criminal. They want to do something criminal. You cannot act like that, because at the end of the day, it will fall back on you. You were the only one sitting on that table. There wasn't a party in that house. Who do you think they are going to investigate and ask, and they start investigating you? You know. So Jonathan, Hanks just made Benny to know that she should go home. Because normally a case like this, they are not supposed to be seen. The fear of him, the fear of people thinking that he will try to corrupt her, to speak on his behalf, whereas the child knows very well that Hanks is innocent. you know and I'm glad she's cooperating very well, and I'm glad she knows that Hanks is innocent, because Hanks is trying to make her understand that whosoever did this wanted them to get caught, wanted them to be in that particular position, and that person is coming from within. It's not an outsider, because the things were well orchestrated. Even the fact that there was a journalist at the hotel, waiting to take pictures, who bumped inside the room, like it was just something that was set and kept, for it to explode. The way it happened, he realized that something was wrong somewhere. So he just wanted Benny to be on alert, and Benny should not be seen with him, because he wouldn't want people to think otherwise. And you can see he's taking precaution, because he couldn't even offer the child anything to eat or drink, because he was afraid that they'll say that he has, given her colos. You understand? So this is a man that is innocent. He's trying his best to stay that way. So the next scene shows Kenny, who is coming out of Clara's new home, and guess who he finds outside? Emeka. It's as if Emeka walks in his shadows. You understand? It's as if Emeka has no job to do. Like, he doesn't have anything to do than be a monitoring spirit. Because how do you explain that this man will go inside here to show Clara her new home? Already you found him. Are you a monitoring spirit? And now, as if that was not enough, he's trying to make it look like Kenny is having an affair with Clara. See, as there are some friends that we have to be very careful with in our house, in our lives. We shouldn't have in our lives, because they are very dangerous. Just imagine this guy thinking something that evil. Now making it want to look like it is real. So until he's telling her, aren't you ashamed of yourself? You're seeing your friend's wife behind his back. She just left the house now, and you're having an affair with her, when he knows very well that it's not true, but he wants to put it out there. This is how some people operate. This is how there are some people, that will make you feel guilty even though you're not guilty. Yes, people will make you feel guilty regardless. Regardless. So, but Kenny can read through his game. Then it's making him to understand that I know your type. And I know that, there's something that you've done. I know there's something that you and Debbie are doing. When I look at you, I know that you and Debbie are up to no good. Because for you to come and sit here, and be spewing nonsense that I am having an affair with my friend's wife, then we have a problem. So, but Kenny, I like the fact that Kenny understands that Emeka is a devil. But the problem right now, right here, is that Jonathan, because of his big ego, he has not realized who Emeka truly is. He doesn't know who is Emeka indeed, He doesn't, but Kenny knows who Emeka is. And Kenny also knows that Debbie is not a good person. And Kenny is suspecting that Debbie and Emeka are working together. Yes, it makes sense because they are alike, those two. And like, how is it possible that a couple will have best friends that are devils in disguise? That is not good at all. That isn't good. And Kenny is making him to understand that he is going to expose them, whether they like it or not. He's definitely going to expose them because he knows very well that they are here to destroy. And Emeka is not even afraid to make Kenny knows that he will do everything humanly possible, to make sure that this girl, Clara, does not return back into her home. Yes, he will do that. He will make sure that Clara does not return back into her home and all the rest, because to him, Clara is a distraction. Yes, Clara is, and he's happy about it. He's happy that he's succeeding in destroying a couple's life. So the next scene shows Clara in her home, and she hears somebody knocking, and she's asking, like, what's going on, only for her to find out that it was her daughter. And she was very happy to see her. She was excited, she was excited, like, to see her and all the rest. So they hugged, they were happy. It feels so good. There was no bad blood among them. There wasn't any bad blood and all the rest. You see, she was just happy to see her mom. She couldn't wait. Even her mother was so happy to see her. But from the look of things, this girl doesn't look angry at her mother the way she wants to make it, the way she's portraying it. She doesn't look a bit angry at her. I'm wondering, like, what's going on? What's up? What's happening? So her mother is very happy, because to her it's more like she's with her daughter, like she wants to know how she's faring and all the rest. But like us, if you look at it, something is wrong here. She doesn't look angry at her. Instead, she's saying that her father is miserable. Like she and her mother were practically gossiping about her dad, telling her mother how miserable her dad looked, and now her mother is regretting. Like Clara is a good woman. Clara is regretting why she left her home. Maybe she shouldn't have. And her daughter was like, "No, mom, I'm happy you took to my advice." And there was a flashback. This is a flashback. The next thing shows a flashback of Clara and Benny, where Benny went to her mom's room, to check on her amid the ongoing fight between her father and her mother, and to find out what her mother's decision was. To Clara, Clara was willing to stay. Clara is those women that she'll sacrifice anything for her children. She'll go up and above, like she'll go below and above for her children. She'll do anything just to make sure her children are okay. But Benny wasn't going to let that happen. Benny made her mother to understand that for once in her mother's life, her mother needs to be selfish. Yes, her mother needs to think about herself. She cannot think about her. She's a grown-up now. And if her mother stays in that relationship, she sees that her mother, her mother could buy. She could see that her mother could buy. So for that reason alone, she has, she cannot do anything. She cannot, like, really, she doesn't want her mother to stay. And her mother is telling her that she would not want to leave her in her father's home. This girl, she's making her mother understand that you stay in this marriage now, you buy, where will I run to? Sure, you still leave me, at least you'll not be nowhere. Who will take care of me? Whereas if you leave this marriage on time, you take care of yourself, you are financially capable. If there's a problem, even if my father brings in another wife, I'll run to you. At least I'll have a place to come to. You'll be alive. So imagine that you stayed and out of the prepare, you buy. What am I going to do? And she was right. Her mother was very happy. So it turned out to be a planned act between this little girl like this and her mother. So the next thing shows after the flashback, she was happy. She told her mother that, "Mom, I'm very happy you listened to my advice. Yes, I'm very happy. So this girl all along has been pretending to be on her father's side, and her father thought that she was on his side, not knowing that this girl all along has been on her mother's side. You see something? She has been on her mother's side all along, not her father's side. You know, she was there defending her mother, pretending to be on her father's side. Look at it, because to her, she's 16, she can understand. She's asking her mother, why would you want to leave your home? Sorry, why would you want to leave your business? Something that gives you joy. It gives you happiness, it gives you financial stability. You want to leave it to be with Mike. For what? Look at now. Dad is there miserable. He doesn't have a job, and he wanted you to be miserable like him. For how long do you think you would have stayed? You know, like us, honestly speaking, I wish all those mothers out there that are fighting so hard for their children. Sometimes you have to understand, like I've been telling people this thing, they will not bury you with your child, and they will not bury your child with you. Please, if it is tough and you think you're there because of those kids, carry your kids and waka. If he says no, leave them. Baby, visiting your children. Take care of your children from a distance. Love them from afar. It's difficult, I know. It's not easy, I know. But we should not sacrifice ourselves for our kids, because at the end of the day, I promise you guys, when you buy those kids, it will be worse, because the man will go and marry and he will not stay. I've seen women, their husband they were like 35, 40, they choose not to remarry. They remain a widow till they buy themselves, maybe after 60 years or maybe 70, at the age of maybe age of 60, 70. My dad my mother never remarried until she died in 2021. My dad since 97. Imagine. So I have seen my dad we were still kids. We were kids. So I have seen that. So like us, we should prioritize ourselves. Okay, marriage is not the end of the world. It's not a do or die affair. Take care of yourself. Take care of you. Please, prioritize you. You live alone to take care of your kids. Don't let another person take care of your kids. Okay, guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much. And on this note, I'll have to say bye, guys.